Welcome, everybody, to the Modern Day Overthinker podcast. My name is Colin, and I am your host. This week's episode is with Dana Moss-Peterson. He is a fellow comedian here in the Quad Cities, also a actor, writer, human being, and we got a chance to discuss grieving, resentments. Obviously, we talked about stand-up comedy and some of our favorite comedians. Some of my favorite comedians, because he asked. Losing his parents. He's lost a lot of people throughout the years, and we discussed how he's dealt with that. He believes he has PTSD from a relationship that he was in, where his partner was unfaithful. So we went over that in detail, and we also talked about personality types and his personality type and how he is in tune with that personality type. So a lot to get out of this episode, so I appreciate you tuning in. If you like it, share it with a friend. Remember, every Monday, new episode. Enjoy this episode with Dana Moss-Peterson. Get started. Welcome everybody to the Modern Day Overthinker podcast. Thank you for tuning in. This week I have Dana Jordan Moss Peterson, the whole name.
He got it right.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Oh, it's just at the show on Friday. You said it like 20 times.
Right.
So I will. Everybody there will not forget your name. Had to adjust some sound levels, but me and Dana were talking about social media, so let's hear some of that. I was not standing. I was not close enough. So that was what was going on. Okay.
You were not close enough, and I was too close.
You were too close. It was the opposite. So I got myself turned down a little bit.
Yeah, I'm old. I don't know Instagram Live, Twitter, Snapchat. I don't do any of that. I'm on Facebook a little bit.
Yeah.
I post pictures.
It's Twitter used to be a lot better. And I'm talking way before Elon took over.
Right.
Like, it was.
I just never understood it.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't, and a lot of people still don't. It's something you don't really understand until you start using it. Because I was the same way, and a lot of my friends are the same way. I joined Twitter in 2009, 10, something like that, and it was like shortly after it was like starting to make its way our way, because obviously it started on the West Coast in Silicon Valley, and my friends were like, "This is stupid. It's just Facebook statuses. Like, what are you like? What's the
right?"
point?
I'm all about short form, but that's like really, really short form.
Really short form. Yeah, it's all about one-liners. Like the best. You know who the best person on Twitter would be, and I brought him up as he's one of my favorite comedians. Mitch Hedberg would kill on Twitter.
Right.
It's just one-liners, and I follow a bot that does like just regurgitates his jokes, and it's just great.
So who are some of your favorite like comedians?
Yeah.
Like Mitch Hedberg.
That's one of them.
If you had a Mount Rushmore of comedy,
Yeah. Chappelle would be on there just because he had so much influence on like I was in. Well, technically middle school, but I went to a K through A school, but it would have been middle school when the Chappelle Show was out, so that was huge.
yeah.
So Chappelle would be on there, Hedberg. I'm trying to think who else. Like, I really like Brian Regan's really good. I talked about him the other day with a friend.
He's really underrated.
Really
a lot
underrated.
of people bring his name up, but he is so fucking funny.
Yeah, he's hilarious. Yeah, he always creeps up, and I like if I do like a random like, I'll do like Spotify like somebody like, or I'll do like John Mulaney's a good one. I'll do like John Mulaney Radio or Mitch Hedberg Radio. He'll pop up on there.
But Brian Regan's been around forever, like the early 80s, right?
Yeah, I heard him when I was first starting listening to comedians.
His Cup of Dirt bit is hilarious.
I can't remember that bit. I just remember the reading bit where he talks about he brought his report card home and he's like, "Dad, I got a B in reading. That's a D, you idiot." Like stupid stuff like that.
But Jerry Seinfeld put him on Netflix. He's got like a 5 or 6 episode thing because none of his specials are out and people didn't know about him. And Jerry's like, he's one of the funniest people out there.
Yeah.
And so Brian Regan's doing some of his old bit, but the Cup of Dirt was like a science project and he's like really lazy.
Oh.
And they're like, "Oh, what's this?" And he's like, "A cup of dirt."
Oh yeah, I can't remember that.
He's a good one, yeah, for sure.
He's somebody that I forgot about until recently. And like I said, I had a conversation with my friend after we were at the show in Buffalo, and he was like, "Dude, Brian Regan." I was like, "Oh yeah." I was like, dude, the amount of times I've listened to him, and yeah.
He's got a fairly recent special, like Red Rocks.
Okay, he did
Outdoors,
a Red Rocks one?
Yeah. But
Nice.
I think he's got a couple of things on Netflix now which is good.
Yeah.
And then one of my favorite bits, there's this show, This Isn't Happening. Ari Shaffir used to host it, and now somebody else does. But Boo Sailboat. Go on YouTube and find Boo Sailboat from This Isn't Happening. It's hilarious.
Have you watched I Think You Should Leave?
I think you should. That sounds familiar.
It's a Netflix thing. It's his name's like Tim something.
Tim Minchin?
I'll look it up.
Is he British?
No.
Oh, okay.
Tim Robinson.
No, I don't know Tim Robinson.
He's I think he's originally from, I want to say like he's a Midwest guy from like Detroit. Let's see, what does it say? Yeah, he's from Detroit. I'll show you a picture of him. That's this guy.
Yeah, I'm terrible.
He's really awkward, dude.
Oh no, I've seen him acting. He's a stand-up though.
No, it's sketch.
Oh, sketch. Okay.
Yeah, it's sketch. Sorry, I mixed that up. I like sketch a lot.
Yeah,
I love sketch. That's why I like Chappelle's up there.
Yep.
But his stand-ups are great too. Growing up, I wish Eddie Murphy would get back into stand-up.
He's toying with it.
He's toying with it?
There's like an almost...
Raw with Eddie Murphy was the first special I watched.
There's an almost hour episode of Comedians in Cars with Coffee, Jerry and Eddie.
Yeah.
And he's like talking about doing it, but like... He doesn't know because he was so good in the 80s, and does he have anything? Is it worth it? What does he have left to prove?
Yeah.
You know, but like if he did that, it'd be one of the coolest things ever. People would love it.
Yeah, because he's just been chilling, making movies and making
fairly bad movies for
fairly
a
bad
while.
movies and making a ton of money.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, Nutty Professor was good. Then it was just like slowly went down.
Yeah, no, he made like Beverly Hills Cop and 48 Hours, like late 80s, early 90s. He was, and then he started doing like Bowfinger and Norbit.
Might be one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
It's so bad. I don't know what happened, but then he did Shrek, and
too?
Yeah.
Then he did Shrek. Yeah.
Yep. And now he's like, I don't have to do anything ever.
He doesn't.
Right.
Yeah, that's probably another thing that he's thinking about. Like, I don't need to do this.
No.
But it is one of those things, like, stand-up's just... I mean, if you're doing it just because you like to do it, it's a lot of fun.
Right.
And it may bring back, this nostalgia for him or something, like, you know, by touring again.
Right.
But it's been a long time since Eddie Murphy put anything out.
Steve Martin quit stand-up, like, in the late 70s.
Yeah.
Like, people forget he was a stand-up,
yeah,
but
that's true.
Nobody's like, bring back Steve. You know?
That would be funny.
But Eddie Murphy's better.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah. Eddie Murphy. I'm trying to think of who else. Like, there's just so many names rolling around. I met a new guy that I really like that I wasn't sure if I was going to like him stand-up wise because he has a podcast. It's Theo Von.
Okay.
He's just such a goof, man.
Yeah, I like his podcast. His stand-up is kind of hit and miss with me.
I
but
saw him
he's
live, though. Dude,
right.
his energy was incredible.
If you see people live, I'm sure that would change it for me.
Yeah.
But, like, he is just like, he's not from this planet, kind of.
Yeah.
And he's got such an interesting
Yeah,
take, and
he's
some
not.
of his phrases and the way he speaks is really interesting. Yeah.
He starts sentences and he doesn't know how he's going to finish them. That's like the best way to describe him. That's
Yeah, he's from Louisiana.
Yeah, he's from Louisiana.
Yeah, he's got that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't know if he's like messing with you or not.
Right.
It's just him.
Right.
Which is also funny too. Nate Bargatze's also another newer one.
Okay.
I really like
Yeah.
a lot. And he's just like, and you can tell he's like always grinding and working on jokes.
And he's so conversational and casual and has such a smooth, even delivery, but he's hilarious with that. Like, I'm loud and I envy people who could just be like, make people laugh by talking like this. I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah, he does a great job. He's very relatable. And yeah, he just talks about like basically like how dumb he is.
Right, and
he's
messing,
like Brian Regan, like
messing with his friends and like, no, my friend's an idiot. I'm an idiot. It's hilarious. Like,
my wife's mad at me. Like, classic stuff. Like, yeah, I remember me and my brother talk comedy a lot, and he's the one who introduced me to Nate. He's like, you got to watch Tennessee Kid. I'm like, okay. I did. I was like, all right, this guy's solid.
Right.
I saw him when he was at the Adler. The only problem about that is the Adler, they need to work. I don't know if it was somebody running the sound. I hadn't been there in a while, but I was like, I got the cheap seats and I was way up. And I could not hear very well. I could hear Nate fine, but some of his openers, like, the first guy was pretty loud. So he was loud enough for me to hear him. But the second guy, like, I don't know. It was like putting Nathan Kuhn up there. Like, you got to turn him up a little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
To be able to hear him. But yeah, I don't know what the deal was. I felt like an old man who couldn't hear. And so that was a struggle. I don't know if that was just the Adler itself.
Yeah, I haven't been to the Adler in a while. But I can see that a little bit. And, like, who were his openers? Were they his openers?
His openers.
Okay.
Which is fine. I love it when, like, you know, like, damn, why can't I remember his name at the top of my head? I always want to call him Norm, but it's obviously not Norm MacDonald. Norm MacDonald's very much not alive. He would... what's his name?
Well, it was only about a year ago. How much is very much not alive?
Very much not alive. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
He's recently somewhat alive.
Why can I not remember his name? Donnie opened for him, and I was there.
Oh, right, with the suit. Doug Stanhope?
No, it has more. This guy has more suit.
Okay.
I don't know how to look.
Donnie opens for everybody, so narrow it down.
This was very recently.
Kyle Kinane?
It wasn't Kyle Kinane. I do like Kyle Kinane. New York comedian.
Oh, that narrows it down.
I'm trying to narrow it down.
It was Dave Chappelle. Donnie opened for Dave Chappelle because he's a New York comedian.
Yeah.
Jerry Seinfeld, he's a New York comedian.
Newer New York comedian.
Louis C.K., he's New York. Ray Romano,
Louis
he's
C.K. is
New
making
York.
a comeback. You know who else is making a comeback? Or trying to?
Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bold strategy.
It's really not. He's hilarious. Like, he'll sell
really not.
tickets.
He will sadly sell tickets. I will not buy one.
No, I won't either, but...
Louis C.K. is like a gray area for me.
Louis C.K. hurt me because he is my favorite.
I like Louis C.K.
He is the most prolific...
His stand-up. Well,
right,
let me phrase that.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's the most prolific. He's the craziest. He's the smartest, the funniest. He'll make you feel things, emotions.
Yeah.
He'll just say some wild shit. And then all that stuff came out about him. And I'm like, it's hard to watch some of his stuff now. Like, because it's kind of hidden in his subconscious, and he talks about stuff. And
at least he's like straight up like talks about it now. Or
right.
He did talk about it like right away. And then his stand-up's like, I saw a bit of him. He's like, so it's been a wild couple of years, huh? It was like he like just like breaks
yeah,
the ice,
no,
like, right
he
away.
opened his first special after all the controversy. He was like, "Hey, how was your last 2 years,
Yeah.
audience?
Yeah.
Did you lose hundreds of millions of dollars? Because
Yeah.
I did."
Did everybody hate you? Yeah.
Even Obama had to know about my stuff, and he's like, "Oh, Jesus!"
Worldwide hatred is what he said. Yeah.
But he admitted to it. He
Yeah.
never denied it. He's
No.
like, it's all
Owned
true.
it.
He faced up to it. It was a little gross what he did, but not illegal. He didn't force. He didn't. It's not Cosby. It was like a serial criminal.
Yeah, and he just denied.
Right. Like, and Louis' stuff happened like 25 years ago, and he didn't keep doing it. I think he realized 25 years ago, I should probably stop doing it.
Yeah, I didn't know the timeline.
Right. But it was a while. He did it a couple times. Like,
I finally remember the name of the comedian now. Mark Norman.
Mark Norman. Okay. I know that dude.
Yeah.
He's a little weird. I like him, but he's very... Yeah.
He's a little bit like, he kind of plays off being goofy.
Right.
Not goofy, but like, yeah, he knows he's weird.
Right.
So he will play off of that. He's really good with crowd work, though. Like,
yeah. Yep.
He's the one who like just lets people like yell out stuff.
Yeah. Who's the one? Todd something. He's really good with. I love his Todd Berry. Is that right?
Yeah.
He's got a whole crowd work thing. I love doing crowd work. I've been
trying to work on that too.
I've just kind of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Todd Berry, the bald guy. He's just so goofy, but yeah.
All right, enough comedy talk for now.
Okay.
We'll switch it up a little bit.
All right.
I wrote some stuff down with my garbage handwriting.
With your Jimmy John's pen.
With my Jimmy John. How I got the Jimmy John's pen was actually it came with a bunch of Jimmy John's merch because it was from Twitter. I sent out a tweet like a while ago because I really like the Jimmy John's chips because they're really good. And I was like, why don't they sell these in stores? And it was like a year after I tweeted that, they're like, hey, guess what? We're selling the chips in stores. And since you like tweeted that or whatever, we're going to send you
like a mediocre pen?
We're going to. That was like the worst part about it. Was they sent me some socks, 2 big bags of chips, and there was a couple other random just like things in there. I was just like, all right, sweet. And I had a gift card. Like,
nice.
Yeah. So it was.
Are they a sponsor of this?
They're not, so I'm not bringing them up
be.
anymore. They should be. Oh, Jimmy John himself. Have you seen that guy?
No. Maybe I worked there. Maybe there was a picture. I don't know.
He's a character.
Is that his real name, Jimmy John? It's the
I don't
dumbest
think so.
name. His parents must hate him too.
Yeah. Well, speaking of your parents, and on a serious note, you lost your parents in when did you lose your mom first or your dad first?
Yes, I lost my mom first, December of 2017.
Okay.
I had my first kid August of 2017. Okay. And then my mom was like, yeah, I don't want to see you mess this up. No, kidding.
Yeah. I don't want to witness this. Yeah.
No, but I did get to, she was out in Pennsylvania. I did get to take my daughter to meet her. And my daughter actually has my mom's first name as her middle name.
Nice.
So yeah, lost my mom December of 2017. And then
was she sick for a while before that?
No. So I was in a show called Inherit the Wind. I played the teacher who was put on trial for teaching evolution in 1920s Tennessee.
Nice.
It was my second time doing the show. I had done it once in 98. I played the same part, same director in 2017. So we were like 4 days from opening that show. And then my mom had gone to, something wasn't right. She had gotten some exploratory surgery. And then my aunt called me and she's like, there's cancer everywhere.
Oh, shit.
And I'm like, okay. And she's like, you should come out here. And I'm like, all right. Once the show's over, it was only 2 weeks. And then she's like, yeah, that's fine. But then my other aunt called me like the next day and she's like, no, you come out here now. So I had to talk to my director and I'm like, hey, I might have to leave for a couple days.
Yeah.
In the middle of this. But so we had been friends for over 20 years. He knows my mom. He's like, we'll figure it out. So I did the first 2 shows and then had somebody fill in for me for 3 shows. I went out there for about a week and I came back and then closed the show. And then October of that year, I took my daughter out there. So yeah.
Your daughter was born in September.
In August.
Okay.
Right. End of August.
Got it.
August 29th.
Okay.
And then October we went out there so they could meet. And I got this sweet video. We were at my aunt's house and my aunt had to go do something. It was just me, my mom, and my daughter. And I, for whatever reason, the day before, I had put in a Beatles CD in the player, and then we were just hanging out, and I was playing the Beatles, whatever it was, and then my mom's holding my daughter and singing Let It Be to her.
Oh, awesome.
And that is like one of my favorite songs now.
Yeah.
I love the Beatles, but I have that moment recorded, and it was really bittersweet.
That's awesome. And then a couple years later, you also lost your dad.
April of 2020, yes.
Okay.
So my dad was a little different. So I had
Were they separated?
Yeah, they've been divorced since I was 3.
Okay.
So, yeah, long time not.
Where was he living at? Around here or no?
Georgia.
Georgia, okay.
Yep. My dad remarried twice. So I have a brother who's 10 years younger than me. And then I'm 44. I have an 18-year-old brother and a 16-year-old brother also.
Wow.
Yeah. So, like, my dad we were talking, and I'm like, let's do a video chat with you and my daughter. And he was like, I don't have a whole lot of energy right now. And then it was really weird. And then he went to the hospital, and then he had cancer. And then like 2 weeks later, he was gone. And then I started going back through old messages, and he hadn't been feeling good since like September, but like my dad was so stubborn. He's like, I'm fine. I'm totally fine.
Yeah.
And then when we were talking right before he went to the hospital, he's like, yeah, I've been losing weight. And I'm like, that's
not a good sign.
Good. And then, it was just almost instantaneous. And that was like a month after the pandemic. So that was a fun time. Global pandemic. Lose your dad. Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck having a good time now.
What kept the wheels on the cart there, for lack of a better way to put it?
My kid.
Kid,
I mean, it was perfect timing.
She keeps you grounded?
Honestly, if I did not have her when I did, I don't know. Maybe I would have been okay. Maybe I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But she reminds me of my parents in a lot of ways. Her attitude, her mannerisms. She looks a lot like my mom. Like, she's got my mom's middle name, and so, like, without her, I don't think I'd be as in a good place as I am. I probably would have struggled a lot longer, a lot harder. But when you got somebody to take care of, it kind of helps. I mean, it helped me. Everybody's different. Some people may not have been able to take care of her, but I'm like, I gotta be okay right now,
Yeah. So did you have any time to really grieve? Or are you still kind of processing it? Or
well, it was difficult because I knew I was losing both of my parents, so I got to talk with them.
It wasn't sudden, like massive heart attack,
right? And then they're just gone, and you can't. So
you got to mentally prepare as much
right.
as you could.
And with my mom, she was the biggest influence in my life. Nothing against my dad or anything, but my mom was a super strong personality. The way she read books to me, she put so much energy and emphasis into things, and that's probably why I'm a performer, stand up.
Yeah.
So with her, it was a little hard. We didn't have a funeral for her right away. We still haven't. So that took a long time to kind of come to terms with. And then with my dad, he didn't have a funeral either because it was COVID. Nobody could do anything. So not having that closure, there's been a couple times it's been a little rough, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But what do you do? I actually got to talk to my parents and tell them what they mean to me, and
have that last conversation,
right, which helps. But if I hadn't had that and no funeral and I didn't have my daughter, who knows, man? It's tough. And everybody, like, I've lost a lot of people since 2008. Like, I don't have my grandparents left, my parents, like teachers, bosses, friends, my cousin Jeremy, who was like my best friend. He was an actor. He pushed me into doing stand-up. He's like, I think you'd be really good at it.
Yeah.
And I didn't wind up doing stand-up until after.
He never got to see it.
Right. But everybody affects you differently because you have different relationships with people, you know, and like your parents is one thing. Like you think you lose people, but that's your identity, and you don't realize how much of your identity is wrapped up into them until that's gone, and then you're kind of like, oh,
Yeah.
like I get so much stuff. Like you're somewhat aware of some of those things, but it's just one of those things. When that's gone, it all hits you kind of at once.
Yeah.
And then, like, my cousin was my best friend, but I knew we were losing him. But then,
So he was sick as well?
yeah, he had a brain tumor. He had it operated on 3 times, lost some motor function, lost some speech. And then he came back twice, and then the third time, the motor and the speech really didn't come back, and he stuttered a lot, and it was really hard. But then one of the ones that affected me the most was just a theater friend I had. I moved out to Philadelphia for a while, and then I moved back, and I always wanted to look him up because he was one of my good friends, and then one day he was just gone. He was like, I don't feel good. He went to lay down, had a heart attack, never woke up.
Whoa.
But because it was so sudden, because he's my age, like there was like a month where I didn't know myself. I drank a lot. I was doing a lot of pills. I was doing a lot of drugs. And then I remember I had seen one of my friends, and I'm like, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. How are you doing? And she's like, we hung out yesterday. And I was just like, oh.
You're disassociating
right,
hard.
Right. And so I just stopped everything. And I'm like, I gotta find a different way to deal with this.
Yeah.
So I'm really
Yeah.
lucky that kind of woke me up. But yeah, you just never know, and it could be somebody you don't know as well that affects you more, or it could be your family but it's always different because everybody's like a fingerprint, and you just have different relationships, and the timing of it and everything, you just never know how to deal with it. But what I tell people is, tell the people you care about how you feel about them almost every day, because you just never know. You don't want to have that regret. You don't want to have that missed opportunity. If you're fighting with somebody, if you haven't talked with somebody who means a lot to you, get over it. Talk to them. Try. Make the effort. Because if that person leaves this earth and you don't resolve that, that's really hard to overcome, get through, and deal with.
Well, speaking of that, you've told the story about your mom, I'm sorry, and her brother.
Right.
And reconnecting that relationship. So how did you go about doing that? I obviously know, but just for the people listening.
So I moved out to Philadelphia in 2005. That's where my mom's family is from. She was living here, but I wanted to go try acting and, start my life somewhere else away from here. And she had not been talking to her brother for like 7, 8 something. It was a long time. He had gotten a divorce. She was trying to talk him through it. They got in a fight. He said something that really made her mad, and she just stopped talking to him. So I was going out there, and I was pretty sure she wasn't going to come visit. Because I went and stayed with him initially. She wasn't going to come visit. So that bothered me. And it was probably, maybe a week or so before I was going to move. I couldn't sleep. I didn't know. I'm like, something's wrong. What's bothering me? And then I'm like, oh, she may never come out and visit her family. So I sat down and I wrote a 2-page story about giving them perspective, because he was getting a divorce, he said something, she got mad.
Yeah.
My parents got divorced when I was 3. I said some ugly things. She forgave me. Why can't she forgive her brother? We all make mistakes. We all say things we don't mean.
Yeah.
And then, talking about how she sang songs in Russian to me, how she's a very open, deep-thinking person, and, how you just need to think about what if I never reconnect, and, whether they could reconnect or not. I didn't want to live in a world where they didn't try.
Yeah.
So I wrote this story, and I sent it to my uncle, and then I left it on my mom's table. She was taking me to the airport. I had all my stuff, walking out the door, and I'm like, oh, I forgot one last thing. And I took it out of my bag, put it on the table so she wouldn't see it till I was already on the plane. So by the time I had landed, they had been calling each other, and they reconnected. And then probably a month or 2 after I got out there, she came out. The whole family was there. And then her and her brother were like, let's go talk. They went outside, and I have a picture of the back of them the first time they were talking. It's one of my favorite pictures. And then when my mom was sick and I went to visit her with my daughter, we got to talking. And at one point she's like, I have to thank you, because if you didn't write that story, I never would have forgave him. Yeah. And it would have been too late. And the reason she was out in Pennsylvania at that time is because her brother had gotten sick, and she went out to take care of him. Oh. And then he passed away. And then she was going to come back, but then her dad got sick, and then he passed away. And then I was going to have a kid, and she was going to come back, but then she got sick. It was every year we were losing somebody. But her saying, I need to thank you for that story. At the time, I just wanted them to talk.
Yeah.
And
just try it.
Years later, her saying that to me, the power of that story and what that did for her, that's not what I set down to write. Because you're going to take care of your brother and you're going to forgive him, and when it's your time. No, but it was such a powerful thing hearing my mother say out loud, because she never said thank you. They talked, that was thanks enough. But then her saying that and just being so grateful for it, I don't know, it means a lot. It's one of my favorite pictures. It's one of my favorite stories. It was 2 pages, and I just use that as an example. Like with my dad, we didn't always have the greatest relationship, and we actually got in a fight the December before he passed away, and he was mad at me, and he wouldn't talk to me. So I called his wife, and I'm like, my stepmom, and I'm like, you make him talk to me, because you never know. Okay, we're mad at each other. That's stupid. Yeah. If he doesn't talk to me because of it, we can work this out. And then the next day he called me, and thank God I did that. Because then if he didn't talk to me till April, holy hell, man. And it's not easy to mend fences, build bridges, get over stuff. But,
if you just don't try.
It's a lot easier than dealing with the regret of never trying.
Yeah,
You're right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome, man, because Yeah, you were the bridge that was you rebuilt the bridge that was burnt
Right. And
over just an argument.
yeah, yeah. Over one stupid thing he said. Who knows what he said? It didn't
Yeah,
matter.
you don't even know.
Right.
But it doesn't
right.
matter, yeah.
And like I believe in connecting with people, and like I know like my comedy's weird because I'm very abrasive and angry,
Yeah.
but like there's this sentimental side of me. Like I try to like tell people like, no, I appreciate you, you know, and people are flawed, you know, like we were at the show the other day, we saw somebody who was a little flawed.
Yeah, we haven't seen him in a while.
Right. But you know what? We all deserve a little humanity, and you know,
I made sure to say something to him before I left, like, and I felt bad. I feel bad. Like, that's one of those things where it's like, he never did anything to me.
right, exactly. And even if he had, if he's better now and trying to,
Yeah, you told me he's working on it. Yeah,
he's like, I've done some growing, and that's great. And like, there are some people who just hold grudges, and I'll never forgive somebody. Like
dying on the hill.
Yeah, I've made mistakes. You know, some people may never forgive me for it, but like, I'm gonna try to be like, no, I made that mistake. I'm sorry. You know,
just owning it, man.
Yeah.
Like, so many people don't own their shit. Like,
yep, in denial and want to fight. I didn't do that. Well, you probably did, and you'd be surprised at the power of, you know what, I did that, and I'm sorry, and what that can do. You know,
some people that's all they want to hear is
right.
Like, yeah, I screwed up. It's
just that simple and that hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It sounds simple, but yeah, it can be real awkward and just like intense. But once you break that barrier, because that's something I had to do. Luckily, I didn't burn a whole lot of bridges when I was at the height of my addiction and using. And
how long were you in that lostness?
It depends on who you ask.
Well, I'm asking you.
Yeah, I know. So it started to get really bad in like probably 20. I would say that would be 2013, 2014.
And was there like a trigger or a trauma, or was it like you said earlier, you just wanted to relate to people on that level?
I didn't want to, like, I got out of college, I, got a job and was trying to, get into a career, and, I spent all this time in college, like, I'm supposed to have a good job, a good career. I didn't. And
were you still working at Jimmy John's?
I was not still working at Jimmy John's. My first job out of college did not help. And this was before things got really bad, but I guess it kind of started there. So I moved out to Chicago after I graduated from Ambrose, like literally like a couple weeks after. I graduated in December because I transferred there and some of my stuff didn't transfer, so I graduated a semester later than I normally would have with my bachelor's in marketing. And I was like, my brother lived in Chicago. He texted me, and I don't know if he texted me or if we were on the phone, but he told me, he's like, hey, why don't you there's probably not a lot of good jobs in the Quad Cities. You need to get out of the Quad Cities, man. Just come to Chicago, sleep on my couch. Him and his wife just got a dog. Take care of the dog while we're working, while you're looking for a job.
And figure it out.
And I was like, yeah, that sounds a lot better than what I was doing. You're good. That sounds a lot better than my plan now, which was no plan, really. I was like, what do I do now? Like, I have to start applying for jobs. And so I went out there, and this is in January of 2013. And I I was a full-time dog watcher, dog sitter, and lived on my brother's couch, my brother and sister-in-law's couch. They had just gotten married. They were like newly married, and I'm living in their house, sleeping on their couch in their one-bedroom apartment in Chicago, just intruding on their life. And so I'm very grateful for them letting me stay there, and I overstayed my welcome.
Yeah.
Because I was just I was very picky about what I was like, I have a degree. I'm not settling for some stupid job.
Right.
Like, and I ended up just taking a job that I actually thought was a better job than it really was. It was a sales job. I started out doing sales, and it was a very shady operation, I would say, where the company wasn't that shady per se, but the way they sold me on the job.
Right.
Like I got hired like on the spot. That was like a huge red flag for this type of job. What I thought it was. It ended up being door-to-door sales.
Oh, fun.
For a roofing and siding and windows company. They didn't do siding our particular region or area.
So those sales weren't going good, so you went door-to-door selling drugs and then started doing it.
Thank you for tuning into this episode. If you are listening on Apple or Spotify, please leave a review if you have not done so already. It really helps me out. And share it with a friend. Share it on Facebook. Tag me. I don't care. I actually care a lot. It's awesome. I love seeing it. Love seeing people talking about the podcast, hearing them, I should say, or seeing it on social media. And I appreciate everyone giving me feedback and telling me that I'm doing a good job and that I should continue to do this podcast. And I'm listening. I'm going to keep doing it. Let me know if you have any other feedback. I appreciate you tuning in. Back to the episode. Job for 6 months because it was starting to get cold. And I wasn't going to knock on doors in the winter. And they don't stop.
Right. And Chicago, the lake effect, it's even worse.
Oh, yeah. And we weren't just doing the city. Obviously, we're doing the burbs because that's where all the houses are and stuff. And like the old houses. And the main pitch was the windows. It was redoing people's windows. And roofs. Obviously, big money there. I wasn't selling. I was an appointment setter. So I would just get them to get the free estimate.
Yeah.
Where the sales guy came in and just tried to sell them on everything. So, yeah, I had to get out of that job because I wasn't going to knock on doors in the winter. So, one of my friends had gone and worked for Restaurant.com, which was in Arlington Heights. I was living in the city. I had moved out of my brother's place, and I was living in an apartment with 3 other people. My room had no windows. My apartment, it was technically not a bedroom, but they were renting it out as a bedroom. Super sketchy.
Right.
I was not in a good place mentally. Definitely self-medicating a lot during that time. And I moved out, and I moved to Schaumburg because it was near Arlington Heights. I found a guy that was renting his condo. He was renting out the basement of his condo, which was fully finished, had a bathroom. We just had to share a kitchen. Really nice place, but I knew no one. So I fell into a deep depression. Restaurant.com, I was in sales. I was that was when I was cold calling. I was cold calling restaurants every day to try to get them to participate in the Restaurant.com program, which is like this gift certificate program. And it was hardcore. Like, if you didn't meet your numbers in 2 months, you're gone.
Really?
It was boiler
So,
room.
it wasn't a traumatic event. It was a slow
Burning.
tumbling.
It was a slow burning. No, it wasn't one thing.
Right,
No.
right.
No, it was a slow burning thing. And then I worked there for 6 months, so my resume is already looking great. And I was like, it was just getting to me so much. They were putting me on Xanax at the time, and I was just like numbing myself as much as I could. I actually quit taking some of my other medications. I wasn't drinking hardly at all. I wasn't at that time. I was just smoking weed, and I stopped doing that, and just fell into a deep depression. And I was like, I need to move home. I need to get out of here. This place sucks. This job sucks. I don't have any friends. I mean, the few friends I do have, I don't even want to hang out with them because I'm so depressed. I was like, I need to move home. So I moved home, lived in my parents' basement, and ended up getting a temp to hire job in customer service. And I went on a vacation, and I, with a couple of my friends, for one of their birthdays, and we went to Vegas, and things got out of hand.
Aha.
And that's when the floodgates opened.
Okay.
I won't say exactly what happened because it was in Vegas.
That's fine.
And
it stays there.
It stays there.
I've never been to Vegas.
Yeah, I don't really have the desire to go.
But when I go back, I'm going to ask about you.
Yeah, there's a guy when the guy who is helping you find parties and things to do and finding you things, I will be very cryptic about this, tells you that you should talks you out of doing something stupid. You know maybe
you're
in a bad spot.
Luckily that clicked with you then.
Yeah, I was like, oh man. But I didn't. That was just one thing where I stopped. I didn't do something stupid. Okay. So yeah, that started the. I think that really opened the floodgates, and it was slow burning before that though. But yeah, and then it was from there until 2017. I got an OWI in 2016. And slowed down a little bit.
So like 4 years there, you were.
It was real bad.
Yeah,
it was real bad.
Did you do like rehab?
I went to one. Actually, I went to rehab when I was still at Ambrose.
Okay.
Forced rehab. It was suggested by a family member that I go. And I went and completed the program, stayed clean, sober. I didn't do anything for a while, and flew under the radar just to make that person happy. Mm-hmm. And then I was right back to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because relapse is part of it. You know, I say all the right things.
Well, I didn't want to do it.
Right.
That was the thing. That's the biggest thing with recovery. Yeah. It's like, if you don't want to do it, then you don't want to do it. You can't. People can help. You
can't fake that.
Yeah, people can help influence your decision.
Sure.
And be good motivators. But if you're not doing it for you, it's not gonna work.
Right.
I've seen it a million times.
I wouldn't say if you're not doing it for you. If you don't have a specific reason why, sometimes it could be another person.
It can be. Yeah.
But like, if you don't have that reason to be like, hey, it could be for you, somebody else, but you need that, like, oh, I don't want to mess this up. I need to fix this.
Yeah, that's very helpful. But like, also you got to remember, like, we talk a lot about in recovery about reservations. Like, say, oh, I'm staying clean because of, because of like, say I had a kid. I don't have a kid, but say if I had a kid, I'm staying clean just for the kid. What if something happens to the kid? Am I still going to stay clean?
Right.
That's a crazy question to ask, but you have to think about that kind of thing.
No, you do. Yeah.
Or my thing is like, what happens if, my parents aren't going to live forever? Mm-hmm. what happens if something, when they pass away? Am I going to be like, well, because they're a big motivator for me.
Have you asked them to live forever?
Oh, I have not.
If you
I
have
don't think they want
parents,
to.
ask them to live forever,
Yeah.
please. I lost mine. Take it from me.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
I don't think they want to. My dad probably would be like, I don't know. I haven't asked him, though. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the... Yeah, it was... My 20s were just, like, a disaster for the most part.
Gotcha.
A lot of... I didn't... Like I said, I didn't burn a lot of bridges. A lot of people stayed away from me.
Right.
For sure. Or kept their
So that's
distance.
probably a little fortuitous that they stayed away, and so those
I didn't notice
bridges...
that till later.
Right.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so I've mended some relationships, or I wouldn't say mended them, but brought them back and like developed them again. Because it wasn't anything where like I completely like torched it, or anything like that. So
quick time.
Had to take a quick pause here for a restroom break. This episode was actually a lot longer. Had to edit some stuff out. We went on some tangents. Went on, not tangents, but had to cut this episode a little bit shorter because it was pretty lengthy. We talked about comedy a lot, and I didn't want this episode to be mainly about comedy. That happens with every comedian that comes on here. I didn't want to just talk about comedy, so I edited some things here. Also, this was a break we had to take because we recorded for quite some time. So, back to the episode with Dana. We're back.
So, you are working on mending some of those relationships, people who kind of distance themselves for you. How do you go about mending something?
So there was a couple processes. Like one was like the people that I really like actually hurt and caused problems with, not just the people who are distancing themselves from me, but doing an amends. Mending, it started out. I mean, I did a lot of. What I've tried to do is like remember the people that were always there and that I always talked to and I always had a good relationship. Those people that you can like just run into and be like, oh, we're you just pick up where you left off.
Right.
Like those type of people. And I thought about those people and I try to do a better job at reaching out to those people and seeing how they're doing and just that's how I'm rekindling it, and asking them to hang out or have dinner or coffee or whatever.
And do you find that they're pretty open to mending
there's
it
nobody
most of the time?
There's a couple relationships that I didn't even have to have the conversation. Like I know they're not on board with
right
being. And I don't think that's all on me either.
Sure.
And I know that with a couple of the relationships. There's, a couple of my friendships. Some people just outgrow each other,
Yep.
And, or move away. And, So I made the amends to the people that I thought I had harmed, and I've also tried to make a better effort to touch base with those people that I have been friends with for a long time, and being a part of their lives and then being a part of my life if they want to be. And some people, it's hard. Everybody's got a lot going on. A lot of my friends have kids, they have careers, they have all kinds of stuff going on, so they don't have...
They have their own podcasts.
Yeah, they have their own podcasts. Yeah, everyone wants to start a podcast now.
So Do you use stand-up as a way to, like, heal any trauma, to work through issues, or do you use it strictly...
As an art form?
Right.
Both, I would say.
Okay.
I really love the art form. So, and it's just a challenge for me because it's something that I know I will never perfect. So
yeah, it seems super easy, and then you start doing it, and you're like, "Holy shit, this is
that right." I'm not doing that.
I didn't think about any of this. I thought I'd just talk and it'd work.
Big thing for me is it's really helped me out a lot with fear and just like being uncomfortable and working through that.
Yeah,
that's the therapeutic part for me.
Yeah, that's interesting. I never. Yeah, because you're in a constant state of, oh my God, is this going to work? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Am I going to remember this?
Everybody's paying attention to you.
Oh my God, am I up for this? Did I forget anything? Yeah, it's just a constant state of anxiety. But the benefits are like so amazing. You're like, I'm going to just invite all this anxiety on me on a daily basis almost.
Yeah, and like the longer you're up there, unless you're completely bombing, which has happened to me.
It's happened to all of us.
Yeah, it's happened to everybody. But the longer you're up there, the more the anxiety subsides.
Right. And one thing about bombing, like I tell people all the time, especially when they're new, like you see like your Mount Rushmore, Chappelle, Hedberg, all that.
Yeah.
You don't see them bomb because they've been working on that for at least a year, maybe 2, 3, 4 years. They bombed with all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But they don't put the bombing on TV.
Oh, of course.
So, like, people are like, oh, look at those people. And no, like,
yeah.
And then you start listening to podcasts and they talk about bombing stories.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, if you're doing comedy, you're going to bomb.
Yeah.
It's, I think, more how you deal with bombing makes you more of a comedian than your actual material can sometimes.
Yeah. And how you deal with bombing is in comparison to how you do with killing.
Right.
Like, with me, I almost had the same reaction. Like, did that just happen?
Right.
It's like the same reaction.
I remember when I first started, at a certain point, I didn't mind bombing because when I bombed, I knew I'd work on it, and the next time I wouldn't, because I'd put the work in and know what I needed to do. So I almost kind of liked bombing, you know?
It was a way for you to learn.
Right. And I knew. I'm just like, it's all right. I didn't take it too super hard. Sure, it sucked while it's my time on the mic. But then when that was over, it was like, oh, okay, I can fix this. I didn't, so I kind of... I don't know. I've never minded bombing all that much.
That's good. That's a good mentality to have because some people I've seen it just...
Right. Well, it's tough.
It is tough.
Everybody's different. So, like, there's some people, they just... If you don't get that good feedback, that serotonin, like, I don't know. And then...
Or if they don't completely kill, they think they bomb.
Right.
It's like... There's a gray area. There's an in-between there.
And I explain it like I love doing stand-up so much. I don't care if I succeed or fail. I'm going to do it again anyway. I'm going to keep bombing or keep doing well no matter what because I just love it so much. And like some people are like, oh, I like the green room aspect and hanging out with people is the best part of it for me. I love talking to comedians and goofing around. Yeah. But like to me, the performing and watching people's like new sets and how they, I love the stand-up part more than the hang. I don't mind the hang.
Yeah.
But I am such a nerd about comedy and like what it means, how you approach it.
Well, because you're a theater person at heart, so you see it from that lens.
Right. And I've been doing theater since I was like 12, and I'm 44, so that's a long fucking time.
Couple years.
Yeah. But like stand up is a different kind of performing, because the first couple times I tried stand up, I was like, that's
You weren't
not
sure.
Well, I didn't have anything to say. I'm a funny person, but like I was trying stuff out and it never really. And then like my origin story is I posted a picture of Roseanne dressed as Hitler.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
And then I got reported to Facebook, and then I was yelling at my friends because I was upset about it, and they're all laughing, and I'm like, wait a minute. And then once I had something to say and was angry about it, I started figuring it out. You know, like that's how I'm the funniest, is when I get mad at things. So now, like, I get mad at like Keanu Reeves. I don't really hate him. I mean, I hate him a little bit, but like just finding things to get worked up about, and people are like, "Oh my God, I love when you're mad." Like it's weird, you know.
Yeah.
And like my name, that I didn't start with my name, which I should have, Dana Jordan Moss-Peterson, and all the problems and chaos that has caused. Yeah. But once I learned I'm sort of like a rant comic, I can just get angry about anything now. And it's beautiful.
And just turn it into material.
And then when I'm off stage, I'm like, I'm not so angry.
Yeah. I let it all out.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I saw you do comedy, one of the funniest things that I heard that was just relatable and that I'd never heard somebody say on stage before, was like, I do comedy because it's cheaper than therapy.
Yep.
Which is pretty true. And I was like, oh my God, this guy. And then I got a chance to know you off stage. I'm like, oh, he's not even that angry, really.
Right. It's people like who don't know me.
People expect you to be like this pissed off.
They're like, I don't want to like talk to this dude. But then like if you take the time to get to know me, you're like, oh, he's, you know, easy to talk to, actually somewhat intelligent.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a bit, it's a persona. It is part of me. Don't get me wrong. But it's not the biggest part of me.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. That's not who you really are all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
I do it to be funny. I don't do it to be mean, you know?
Yeah. I want to bring up, you said something about PTSD earlier, and we didn't really touch on the origin behind that. So
sure.
You said you would say you haven't been officially diagnosed, but you'd say you probably have PTSD.
I probably do. So,
which a lot of people, have been.
When
for that.
I was in Philadelphia from 2005 to 2010, April of 2010, I came back for my birthday. Came back to the Quad Cities, which is where I'm from. And I was hanging out with friends. I was back for like 2 weeks. And then, okay. Let me go back. So I went to Philadelphia to kind of go to school and do theater. And then I was going to stay with my aunt. And while I was in the air, she called my other aunt and she's like, he can't stay here and go to school and do theater. And then by the time I landed, I was going to live somewhere else. And they're like, you have to get a job. So I worked 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. the entire time I was in Philadelphia. Didn't have an outlet artistically. Never really got to do what I wanted to do. So 2010, I come back for my birthday, hanging out with friends, And I went back to Philadelphia, and I remember thinking, I love my friends, but I'm glad I don't have to live there. Okay. So while I was here, also, my brother was like, hey, I'm about to have a kid. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, crap. You know, my 10-year-old, he's 10 years younger than me. I'm like, that's amazing. So we had made plans to go out to dinner my last day here. Mm-hmm. So I had been here for 2 weeks, hanging out with my mom the whole time. On the last day I was here, she's like, hey, I haven't told you this, but I have Parkinson's, and I'm going to have surgery. And I got this 3-hour video that we're going to sit here and watch.
Whoa.
And I'm like, my brother is having a kid. We're going out to dinner. Like, why don't you come out to dinner with us? It's my half-brother, my dad. So not my mom's kid, but my dad's kid. And she's like, no, and she got all hurt. Her feelings are hurt that I'm not watching this like, I've been there for 2 weeks. If you would have told me 2 weeks ago, we could have sat here and watched it the whole you waited to the last second. And it's not like I'm just going to go party at the club. It's my brother who's about to be a dad that I'm going to have dinner with, and I would like you to come also, so you know that I love you and I love him, and we can right?
Not going.
So, oh my God, right? And I go back to Philadelphia, and I'm like, thank God I don't have to live there.
Did you ever go to the dinner?
With my brother, yes. Yes,
okay.
I did.
And she got mad you went to the dinner.
Yeah. So I'm like, thank God I don't have to live there. So I was dating a girl at the time, and while I was here, she had messed up her knee. She was in like an air cast on crutches and stuff. And I lived in an apartment complex, and the guy across from us, when I came back, he was like, oh, hey, your uncle was here, and he was helping her get groceries in and everything. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. And then, so I went to my uncle a couple days later. I'm like, thank you for helping with groceries with her messed up leg. And he's like, what are you talking about?
Oh.
And I'm like, my neighbor said you were helping with and he's like, I didn't know her leg was messed up.
I already know where this is going.
So I go to my neighbor and I'm like, hey, what did my uncle look like? And he's like, oh, blonde hair, glasses. And I'm like, oh, that wasn't my uncle. Right. So I had been with her almost the entire 5 years I was there. Artistically, I had nowhere to go. I was gonna do something on the plane that changed. Like, the whole 5 years just felt like a waste of time, a lie to me. My mom's gonna have surgery. I'm like, I'm gonna just move back. I'm done with this whole place. And then when I came back, like, if anything was messed up, like, I'd go to work, had my desk. If they moved anything, I would freak out. Like, if somebody says a thing and then it's not the way, and they like change it, I do not do well with it.
Okay.
I have meltdowns and anxiety. Like, no, you said it was this thing. And it's because of that whole 5 years, people telling me one thing and then not.
Oh, yeah. Trust.
So,
a lot of trust issues.
Right. It's something I try to work on, but I don't know how to get through that.
So did you ever confront that? I assume you confronted that woman you were dating? Or were you just like, can't do that, bye?
Sort of, yeah. So, like, she was a stage manager of a show. And then when I came back, she was like, yeah, we're all going to hang out afterwards. And I'm like, okay. And then she called me and she's like, hey, are you going to bed? Like, I work 3 to 11 at night. I didn't go to bed past 4 a.m. ever. And it's like 10:30. I'm like, I'm not going to bed. Like, you just hang out. I knew those theater people, just hang out with them. And so it was Friday. Why is Friday important? Because Friday, she always wore jeans and a shirt. She hated dressing up. Hated it. Never dressed up. She's like, I just want to be comfortable. Never dressed up. It's Friday. She comes home in like a boob shirt and walks in, and I'm like, that shirt's not for me. And she's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, well, you didn't come home in that shirt. You stayed out in that shirt. You called me to see if I'd be asleep. You know I'm not going to be asleep. You're not being honest. So for like 3 hours, denial. Finally, okay, you're right. Right. I know I'm right. And then like...
And this is after the whole uncle thing.
Right. So I'm like, there's a point of no return. Like, you're lying to my face. You don't want to be in this relationship. Well, I do. Clearly you don't.
Yeah.
So it's a lot dealing with somebody says one thing and then immediately does the opposite of what we just talked about. I have a very hard time with that.
Yeah, I mean, which is fair, but it sounds like you go overboard.
Right. It's...
Yeah, because you're...
I don't know. It's caused a lot of uncomfortableness in my life, and I don't know how to exactly deal with that. And I've tried therapy, but we were talking before this. I've had people fall asleep, like, you need Jesus. People just, hey, so how are you? What do you think about that? What does it
mean? How does that make you feel?
Right, like, I just want somebody, no bullshit, just fucking tell me what's going on.
Cut
just
and dry,
be
yeah.
honest
It's hard
with
to
me.
find, yeah.
Don't dance around it. Just, if you're 100% honest with me, I can work with it, and I can deal with it, and figure some stuff out.
Yeah, you don't want that textbook therapist.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure I have some PTSD mixed with all of that 5
Trauma,
years.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I moved back, because ever since I moved back in 2010, I've done countless shows. I got into comedy.
You got to do what
my
you wanted
artistic outlet is there for the most part. And I've met a whole bunch of people I wouldn't have otherwise.
Yeah.
Philadelphia, I had one friend who I knew from Bettendorf.
Oh.
Besides my family. I tried to make friends. It just, if you're not from Philadelphia, like,
Tough
it
shit.
just, yeah. City of brotherly love, my ass. Ben Franklin ruined my life.
City of brotherly love, my ass.
Right.
Yeah, if you're from here.
Yeah.
But if you're not.
And I actually wrote a song about Philadelphia, and the hook was, you're not from here. You're not from here. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. You're not from here. You're not from here. Yeah. That's the thing.
Oh, man. Where do we go from there? Okay. So, another thing you brought up before we started talking was, which I haven't really got a chance to talk about this with anybody yet, was personality types. And I've kind of done the whole personality type thing, but I don't really remember what mine is. I kind of did it like I was telling you, which was a cool concept for a dating app. There was a dating app where you would do like the personality test, and it would tell you what type of personality you were, and then try to match you with a type that was, that would work with you. And it was a cool concept, but it, like some of the dating apps, unfortunately, there was a lot of bots and spam, and it was just like siphoning through who was real and who was not. I was like, I just deleted it because it was just a waste of my time. But I remember doing it, and I had like the letters, but I didn't really remember what that meant. And so your personality type, and you've kind of researched it probably way more than I have. So.
Right. So I am an INFJ. It stands for like intuitive something something judgment. But INFJ is the one of the rarest personalities.
NFJ personality. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah. So INFJs, all they care about is being genuine
Intuitive,
and honest.
feeling, and judging personality.
Yep. If you're not genuine, if you're not telling me the truth,
yeah.
I got no time. Don't placate me. Don't bullshit me. Like, even if it's the worst thing ever, if it's the truth, I'm like, oh, okay. Because I know what's going on. But if you're trying to trick someone, like, I don't deal well with it. And I'm very intuitive. I can sense when people aren't being honest sometimes before they understand it, before they know.
Yeah.
And like, I've had conversations with people like, hey, you don't want to do this, and they're like, no, I do. Then like weeks, months, sometimes years later, they're like, you know what, you were right. And like, it's hard because
it's hard. It sucks being right sometimes, yeah.
Well, because they don't trust it, because they haven't realized it themselves sometimes, and sometimes I am wrong. So it's like, I gotta be like, am I crazy? Am I looking too much into this? Is it what it... So like, I just say, hey, I don't think you're being very honest about this, and then whatever happens, happens, and sometimes I'm right, and sometimes I'm not. And figure it out from there. But it can cause people to get very angry at you because they're like, you know, how do you know how I feel? You know, and it's like, your tone, your body language. Like, I've known relationships are over before they did, and I'm like, you don't want to do this. And they're like, what are you talking about? Like, I was dating a woman when I lost my dad, and she had some autoimmune stuff, and COVID hit, and like, she was taking care of her grandmother, and her parents are in Florida, and as soon as COVID hit, I'm like, you're gonna move with your parents, and like, because you're not gonna want to go out, you don't want to really date me, it's a lot, I understand, of course you'd go with your parents, that's what I would do. So from March, nope. My dad dies. And she doesn't talk to me for like a week. And then she's like, hey, I'm going to Florida to live with my parents. It's like, what? You fought me and were mad at me for weeks saying no. Yeah. And that's like, I just knew, you know, like, so that happens a lot. It's tricky to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah, because you have that awareness.
Right. And like, people want to deal with it on their own time, I guess. And like, if I can see it instantly, it's hard to know. Like, am I being too much? Am I looking too much into this? Am I being right and they don't want to see it? Am I being right and they're just trying not to hurt my feelings? But then, like, I'll be out and about by myself, and, like, people just gravitate to me, and, like, oh, I'm dealing with this. Like, people love to unload their problems on my personality type. Because it says judgment, but I don't really judge people. I'm judging your intent, your genuineness.
Yeah.
But if you tell me I robbed a bank,
I can relate to that, yeah.
And I murdered a horse, I'd be like, whoa, what put you there? What put you in that frame of mind? Are you still robbing banks and murdering horses?
Yeah.
If you're not, I can like talk to you and like, oh my God, I want to understand. I don't want to judge you for it because, you know, we all make mistakes and like, who knows? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You may have been like, well, I had like John Wick. Somebody killed my dog. So I started robbing banks and
Yeah.
whatever. There's a root to everything. I want to know why.
Yeah.
Why did you go off the rails? Why did you start doing drugs? What's the root of that?
Yeah.
So I'm not judging like, oh my God, you did what? No, I'm judging like, are you telling the whole truth or are you not?
Yeah. Yeah, I can relate to the people gravitating towards you, and I think it happens to me more now because of people know I do this podcast, so they gravitate towards me for that reason.
Right.
They're like, "You're the mental health guy. I'm gonna tell you some stuff." I'm like, which is cool. I mean, so it happens more than it used to, but it happened anyway. It was just like, yeah, it could be like a random stranger. It could be somebody I know really well. It'd be like, hey, I'm going through this stuff. And they'll just unload, dump everything.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
sometimes you're like, oh, interesting.
And sometimes you're like, I'm trying to deal with a lot of my own shit right now. I can't really process your stuff as well. And that's tough.
It is.
Yeah, because
tricky.
You don't want to be like, hey, now's not the time.
Right. You can't help everybody, but
yeah,
you also don't want to be, go fuck yourself. Leave me alone. But like, sometimes you got to kind of be.
Dude, my day is shit. I cannot talk about this right now. Yeah. It's tough. Yeah, I need to go back and do my personality type because I did it a while ago and I don't remember what it was, but I'm sure we share a couple of those things,
right?
Maybe a couple of those letters, because I can definitely relate to that. Yeah, just people just always being comfortable talking to me. And they're just like, oh, this seems like a guy you just talk to. Yesterday, I had an experience where it was. Which I might even turn into a bit. It was just a funny thing. Like life. Have you noticed ever since you started doing stand up, you could turn like almost anything into a joke?
Yeah, like life is just like a sickness. Like I can't not make the joke first.
Yeah,
a lot of times,
even in serious situations,
right?
But
especially serious situations.
Oh, yeah. So I was at Hy-Vee yesterday, and I was just grabbing some things, getting some groceries, and I was going to get milk, and there was this lady who was like, she was looking for 2% milk, and she wasn't seeing it, and I wasn't seeing it either, and we saw like some empty rows, and like, so a guy came up, or she was a worker, and she's like, oh, can you grab me a 2% milk? And I was like, and for some reason I was like, I forgot what kind of milk I drank. I don't know why. I was like, I drank 1%, and it's right there. But I was like, oh, I need 2% too, for some reason. And we ended up, right after she asked the guy, we noticed that it was right there, but the label was different color than we thought it was for some reason. And it was right there the whole time. So she was like, oh, I need to find the guy. And she thought he went in the back, in like the back cooler. So she walked in
through
the back.
The milk stuff. Yeah,
she walked back there. She's like, I'm not scared. I don't care. And she said that right before she walked back there.
Right.
And I was just like, standing there like, is this really happening right now? Like, she just like, that's clearly like, you don't work here. Like, you can't walk. Just walk back there. She's like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
What are they going to do?
Right. I can relate to her. Like, fuck it. I have a question.
Yeah, part of me is like, yeah, I guess she's right. I mean, what are they going to do?
There's these invisible barriers.
Yeah.
Like the thing you put on your, to divide your order from somebody else's at the grocery store, that people respect that barrier more than they respect a lot of things. And it's invisible. It's not real.
It's not real. I'll put my stuff right on the other side. Have you seen those videos of people walking up at like a self-checkout and just scanning something and walking by?
Oh, yeah.
And be like, thank you.
Yep.
Those prank videos where somebody's going to get their ass kicked.
I want to know why you drink 1% milk. Like, I thought I liked you. Like, I thought we could relate.
What are you, a whole milk guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I don't know why.
Just drink water. Just pour water on whatever you're doing because it's 1% milk. What does that 1% do? It's 99% water.
I have no idea.
Right. You need to... That's your next therapy session. Yeah. Unpack why you're a 1% milk person. Is it because you want to be the 1%?
I want to be a part of the 1%.
You want to be Elon. You want to work at SpaceX.
Yeah. Dang it.
I caught you.
You got me. I think it was just a family thing. Like, they always thought 1%. And I just did it, too.
Have you tried whole milk? It's pretty goddamn delicious.
You're right. Great. It's way better on cereal.
I'm so fat because of the milk. Is it the milk you drink, or
is it you not doing anything?
Right. How much milk are you? Is it?
Yeah, I don't consume a lot of milk really in general. I usually use it for cereal. That's basically. I eat a lot of cereal.
When I had the kid, they're like, when she's little, she needs all the fat in the milk, and it's delicious. And I still do it.
I was surprised by I don't buy it because I'm not lactose intolerant, but almond milk's not terrible.
Yeah. I've never tried almond milk.
It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Gotcha.
On cereal, specifically.
What kind of cereal do you eat?
I'm all over the place. The worst kinds.
Yeah, the worst.
That are worst, bad for me.
So Lucky Charms.
Oh, I'll smash Lucky Charms.
Count Chocula.
Count Chocula.
Every time you buy Count Chocula, I get a nickel.
You get a nickel. That makes sense.
Shout out to Todd for making that roast of me.
That I
look like a Count Chocula motherfucker. Thank you for that. I'll never live that down.
Oh, God. Yeah, because you always probably heard Marv from Home Alone a few times.
No, I hadn't,
you never
but
heard
that was fucking hilarious.
That was a good
but
one.
you kind of look like him a little bit, too.
Yeah.
I'm wearing the fingerless
you got
gloves,
the fingerless
though.
gloves, though.
No, I got it. I got it right away. That was good.
That was good. That roast was... I wasn't sure what to expect.
Right.
With that roast, but it was
2 hours long.
It was long, but it was...
Everybody do 3 minutes. Yeah, fucking right.
Yeah, right.
Fucking it was 2 hours later.
We started late as shit.
Yeah.
That didn't help, but it was funny. That was the first roast I'd ever been a part of, and it was a great time.
I love roasting people.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing. It literally, that's my love language. You see me
Talking
and Austin
shit.
just trashing each other constantly.
Me and Austin are on that level now, too. Not as quite as bad as you guys,
right.
But because you guys just go for the throat. This was a part of the episode where Dana went off on Austin. He likes to rip on my friend Austin Ingalls, our friend Austin Ingalls. It's all in good fun, but we're going to send that to him privately so he can hear it. Or I'm going to send it to Dana so he can have Austin listen to it with him because it's pretty funny. But it's not really for everyone else. Anyway, let's wrap this up. Wrap us up. What do you want to... Anything you want to say to anyone listening right now? It's kind of a weird time of year for a lot of people. The holidays just passed.
If you drink 1% milk, bring it up with your therapist. Find the reason why. If you are a Keanu Reeves fan, get some help. Mm-hmm. There's no reason John Wick 4 should be made, but it's being made. It's 3 movies of him running around not saying anything, and he's amazing. If you have any issues, get some fucking help. Mend some fucking fences. Build some bridges. Have real relationships. Get over yourself. Connect with people. Have fun. Be safe.
All right. That'll work.